So we are policy and financially responsible for the things that happen in the county. So a lot of the HR policies that are passed are under the purview of the commissioners. As mentioned, the 16 different departments are here to serve the county. And some of them are mandated, some of them are not, but a lot of the ones that are not mandated are actually fee supported.
Sorry.
So, what we try to do is, instead of taxing the entire county to subsidize some of these services, we actually charge for the services. So community development is one of them, and community development is almost 100% fee supported. So if I want something done at my house, then I will pay that fee, whereas before the fees were low, which was great for the homeowner, except the entire county was subsidizing that service. So for instance, if we charged $100 for a service, and then the service actually costs us $200 to perform, that causes a problem, because now everybody in the county is providing that additional subsidization for those services. So we try very hard to make sure each of our departments do that. So motor vehicle licensing, under the assessor, we've reviewed those fees. Of course, community development that I just mentioned, and also the sheriff's department too. And they're really good about looking at their fees and being able to charge what it costs to do business. Now, state law does not allow us to charge over what it costs. When I approach budget, I tell all my departments, I want to know what's necessary to do your job, what you would like to have to do your job, and that would make your job a lot easier. A lot of times we can't get to the wants, we just have to stick with the needs, and our departments understand that. Last year, I think the B budget, I think only went up by like 3% or something. It was very, very low, and we all know how much the cost of doing business has risen. So we actually do a really good job each year during the budget season to make sure we're only funding those things that are absolutely necessary.
So on that, I'm gonna expand on that question just a little bit. So there's 16 departments. I'd like each of you to talk just a little bit about which of those departments you feel would be a forte for your skill set, what that skill set is, and which of those departments managerially you would struggle with. Leslie, let's go ahead and start with you, please.
Okay. So I was in law enforcement for almost 10 years, and so I am very familiar with a lot of the court system and stuff. And right now, public defender is under my purview, and I'm kind of designed for that understanding. The adult misdemeanor probation, juvenile detention, juvenile probation, all of those are kind of in the same area. I was the liaison for them, but we had some changes made because I, at one point, had 50% of the liaison load, and so we fixed that in October. So now I don't have all of the ones under the Justice Center, under the justice system, I should say. Those parks and waterways, very suited to what I do as far as in my personal life. A lot of boating, been boating since I was 4 years old, so I understand a lot of the boating nature of what goes on in the 18 boat launches and 52,000 square feet of docks. So there's a lot to manage there. And again, with Parks and Waterways, we also look at the fees too. So we make sure that the users of these locations are paying that. It's not being subsidized through the county. Really, reprographics, really straightforward. Let's see. It's hard to go through all of them in my mind right now. Solid waste, that's a great example. Solid waste, the airport, and transit, they are all very technical, and they are headed by excellent department heads at this point. But they have a lot of laws and regulations that they have to follow. And so that's really suited to my temperament and expertise as well.
Of course, I would have a strong suit in
law enforcement. I come from a family of law enforcement in this community. Not only did I serve, but my father was a lieutenant for Kootenai City. My mother helped run the prosecutor's office. So our family's been in law enforcement in this community for a very long time. I've been an avid outdoorsman, and that was part of my production with my TV show, is being in the fisheries and the outdoors, and I have a really strong understanding as far as our lakes are concerned, because of the fact of it's more than just as far as the activities of being able to function, but it's also our fisheries that are also in jeopardy as well. People don't realize that with some of these sports crafts that they actually damage the underfoliage, and when you have fish and game and stuff that are trying to do hatchery things in certain parts of the lake, and if those get disturbed, we end up losing our fishery. So I find that, you know, between that, the parks and waterway would be a strength. I think the only thing that probably I wouldn't have to be kind of a gray area would be noxious weeds kind of stuff. Not that I really invest a lot of time in noxious weeds. I don't know anybody who does, but that would be, I think, my strong suits. The sanitation and the airport seem to be functioning quite well. I think the new guy that they have, Gaston, that's there is doing a great job. So I heard from multiple people. The chief of the fire department, Ozark Hayden, said it's probably the best relationship he's had. So I think those are all positive things.
Excellent, thank you.